I'm not going to do a long introduction. We've got a guy here tonight that I'm not going to introduce. Mr. Gary Bright.
That's a great introduction.
If you want, I can repeat the one you got last time. No?
Just take this sign with you and hold it up for all the You want to see the full sign here? With friends like this, who needs enemies?
Get the microphone.
You can't hear me, girl, down there?
Barely.
All right. Okay, thank you, Bob. I think by this point, most of you know who I am. I think I know most of you. I've either been introduced to you or I've represented you in a deposition. For those of you that I have yet to represent, don't worry, your time is coming. The church ran afoul of the discovery magistrate, and they now have to give us 21-day notice, and they had to pay a fine, so that held them back a little bit, but I'm sure they'll get to each and every one of you at the pace at which they're going. So, when they do your deposition, I'll tell you. I remember, it doesn't seem like it was that long ago, we had a dinner down at the El Paseo restaurant. I think most of you were there, and I gave a little talk at that particular function, and I tended to joke around a little bit, because you have to understand this case has a very serious side, a very intense side, and it also has a somewhat of a humorous side. And so I spent most of my talk at the restaurant joking around, and apparently I spent too much time joking around about Harvey Haber, because after that talk, Harvey came up and he had that look on his eye that only Harvey can have. Restraint, to put it mildly. And he had indicated that I was giving everyone the wrong idea, that I was spending too much time on the humorous aspect, and that no one would take the case seriously. And that if I was ever asked to give another speech, if I would please concentrate on the issues of the case. So, anyway. Those of you that want to write to Harvey Haber, he can be reached in the country of Tibet, where he's now a part-time mountain guide. That should teach him to mess around with legal lines. In all fairness to Harvey, that's not why he is in Tibet, although I'm sure that when he hears this particular speech, that he may feel that's the only safe place to be. I thought tonight we might talk a little bit about the trademarks involved in this litigation, and how to avoid violating the church's trademarks. And so I prepared a few remarks to that effect. The first trademark I'd like to talk about is the trademark NOTS, N-O-T-S. It's an acronym, I think. David, you might have to help me out, but is that New Era Dynamics for OTs? You get what you pay for, I guess. So the church has this concept that they hold very high and dear to them. And I couldn't understand, it seemed to me like it was pretty much a common English word, and I didn't know what the problem was. And I guess now, after going through deposition after deposition, I'm getting to have a grasp of the subject and an understanding. I think the church believes, and their attorneys now believe, that the only OTs are within the Church of Scientology. Therefore, the fact that people outside the church talk as though they were OTs, this violates their very basic principles upon which their organization is predicated. So I've talked with these people, and I'm learning as I go, and I realize that they refer to us as squirrels and suppressive persons. Two nice words, if ever I heard of them. So, faced with this situation, I have a new legal strategy that David will have to pay for, no doubt. But this is my new legal strategy on the trademark knots. What we should do is quit worrying about violating church trademarks, and we should file our own trademarks. We should trademark the term squirrel. And then we should trademark the term suppressive person. And then when the next SP declare came out, we should say, aha, violation of trademark. And sue the living hell out of them. What do you think of that, huh? So I'm working on these legal strategies. You guys keep the funds coming in, and I'll keep putting pen to paper, all right? They also trademarked the term bridge. And because David's so busy running the center, and my helpers that were supposed to assist me in the case kept leaving to do other things, it took me a long time to find out what they were talking about when they referred to the term bridge. So I offered to agree that the people at the Advanced Ability Center and their staff and their attorneys would no longer use bridges, and that we too, like the church, would use commercial aircraft for our transportation. Now, I hope that's okay with everybody. The Church of Scientology attorneys don't drive anywhere. They don't use bridges. They fly. The only bridges they see were from 35,000 feet. And since I've been following them around for the last 10 months, I think we ought to do like they do and avoid the problem. All right? You like that one, Russ? You've got that look on your face. You're about ready to come after me or something like that. The last trademark I think I'll talk about tonight is the trademark Solo, which they use in conjunction with solo knots. And I think my advice on that is very, very simple. Never, ever, ever let the Church of Scientology catch you by yourself. I never will.